Hello everyone, Black Friday 2023 is upon us, and I think I found one of the best deals you can get right now on Amazon and in Best Buy for that matter. The best gaming headset deal I have seen, and I have tested these headsets out extensively for the last week or so, and right now they're both at a great price. And what I'm talking about here are the Razer Barracuda and the Razer Barracuda X. Now the Barracuda X is going for $70 right now, and you can get it in all three colors: black, white, which they call mercury, or pink, which they call quartz, for $70 for the same price. The Razer Barracuda is a little different pricing, but you can get the black one for $100 and the other two colors for $120. Both of these headsets comes with 3 sets of cables. You have your USB-A to USB-C connector here. The reason why you have that is because the dongle itself is a USB-C dongle. So if you want to extend the range, you can go ahead and do that, and you can use the USB-A as opposed to using a USB-C in case you don't have one. By the way, I don't know if you can see it on camera, but these dongles are labeled. I really appreciate that if you can see it. Great idea, Razer. Thank you. Also comes with your USB-A to USB-C charging cable. By the way, these cables are really nice and braided, and you get the same cable, 3 cables with both headsets. And then you get a really nice 3.5 cable with the right angle. This is a really nice cable Razer gave you. I really appreciate a good accessories when you buy a product. Okay. Now, regularly, the Barracuda X regularly goes for $100. The Barracuda goes for $160. So let's do a quick comparison between the two. Let's start with the Barracuda X. This is the cheaper model. Biggest difference between the two, as you can see, the Barracuda X has a removable mic. And this boom mic, and we're going to do a mic test later. You can hear how both of them sounds. Just a little preview. These mics are actually really good for the price. The Barracuda X on the clamping force side, I would say this is more like low to medium, so it's not too it won't be too tight on your head, but yet it does provide enough support. I actually took these out for a run on a treadmill, and they have no problem with them. I really enjoyed it. About a 20-minute run, it was great. Now let's take a look at the buttons on the Barracuda X. On the left side, you have your mic mute. This is your volume wheel. Now the Barracuda X volume wheel does tops out and does bottom out. And then you have your power button, which doubles up as a multifunction button. There's also your pairing button. You have your 3.5, USB-C for charging, and then you have your mic port. There's nothing on the right ear cup. Okay, let's go to the Barracuda now. Now, the build on the Barracuda, this is the clamping force about the same as Barracuda X. It's a little bit tighter, but not too bad. The band here, this is full metal, as you can tell, as compared to the Barracuda X, which has a little bit of plastic in there, but that's not really a deal breaker. The headband here is a little bit plusher as compared to the Barracuda X, but it's really not worth mentioning because I don't really find it to be any detriment. They use the exact same ear cushions, very comfortable, sports fabric material, keep your ear nice and cool. Left ear cups here, same side of controls, mic mute. You have your volume wheel. This volume wheel is a little different than the Barracuda X. This is actually a continuous scroll because it actually controls your Windows volume and your device volume. Power button here, which doubles up as a multifunction button. 3.5mm port. USB charging, and as you can tell, there's no mic port because the mic on the Barracuda is these two right there is integrated mics. I'm going to talk about the pros and cons of this real quick. The pro is if you're just out and about and you don't want the boom mic sticking out like the pose on the Barracuda X, somebody gives you a phone call, you can just pick it right up and talk to them. No need to look for this boom mic, because on the Barracuda X, if this is detached, there's no mic, period. Okay. And then over here you have this is called this Razer Smart Switch button, which you can use for Bluetooth pairing. This is how you switch between Bluetooth and your 2.4 dongle. On the Barracuda X, I'm gonna go back to it real quick. You triple tap the power button to switch. So it does the same thing. Here, you double tap to switch. You have a dedicated button for that. Does that make a big difference? No, not really. Now they both can connect via Bluetooth to your mobile phone. Another difference I want to talk about is on the Barracuda X, the Synapse does not recognize it. The Synapse does recognize the regular Barracuda. Within Synapse, when you use the Barracuda, you're gonna, once again, there's equalizer. You can adjust the microphone equalizer there as well. You have all sorts of different adjustments. You could also have THX 7.1 that's showing up on Synapse. If you're into that, I'm not really into 7.1, so I could care less. Let's talk about the difference in sound quality. The Barracuda X has a 40mm driver, and the Barracuda uses a 50mm driver. Now, I want to be completely honest with you. When I took these out of the box, and when I hook them up to my phone, I must say I was more impressed with the Barracuda X when it comes to listening to music on my phone and consuming content such as YouTube video. The Barracuda was just a little, how do I explain it? It's not bad, but I just felt like this has more bass response. This has a little bit less. I'm not a bass head, but the difference, you can definitely hear the difference. However, when I move it over to the PC and use the dongle, the 2.4mm dongle, the Barracuda really shined. The bigger driver really shine when you switch over to the dongle and use it on your PC. I used it with Synapse and without Synapse, and I gotta say, playing games on the regular Barracuda was more enjoyable than with the Barracuda X. I mostly play story games. I play a lot of JRPGs. I do dabble in some first-person shooters. Lately, I've been playing Counter-Strike 2. God, what a fun game. And both of these headsets does a really good job. Now, if you don't want Synapse, you can use the Razer Audio app to equalize both of these headsets, and it will save onto the headsets once you get out of the Bluetooth mode, because you can only use that app when the headset is Bluetooth to your phone, to your device. But once you do it, you can say, so you don't have to use Synapse if you don't want to. On the Barracuda, you can't use Synapse here. But I find both of these headsets, here's the thing. I'm just an average consumer. I am not someone that sits here and talk about the graph and to talk about the highs and the lows and the brilliance and all that stuff. I'm just an average guy that likes to game and listen to music once in a while, and I just want a good pair of headsets that fits my head and that's comfortable and it provides good sound quality. That's all I'm looking for. And now let's go on to our mic test. There's going to be 4 different mic tests. They're going to be one each using the 2.4 gigahertz dongle, and then I'm going to use the Bluetooth microphone. I'm going to record it with my iPhone. All right, and so you're going to hear straight from what it would sound like from the iPhone recording would sound like using the lovely voice memo app. So let's get to the mic tests. And now you're hearing the microphone on the Razer Barracuda. This is the Barracuda without the boom mic. You can tell the difference between, by the way, you can tell the difference between 2 headsets by looking at the headband. The headband on the Barracuda is slightly smaller. So when I switch over to the Barracuda X, you'll be able to see the difference. How do you think these microphones sound? Let me know in the comments. And now you're hearing the microphone on the Razer Barracuda X. This one has its own boom mic. And like I said earlier, you can tell the difference between the two on the look and size of the headband. You can tell this is a lot bigger than the regular Barracuda's headband. Anyway, one thing to note about the microphone is on the regular Barracuda X, you really can't adjust how these mics sound because it doesn't work with Synapse. Therefore, there's no noise gate, or there's no side tone or anything like that. But let me know in the comments, what do you think about the two mics between the two Barracudas down in the comments. Once again, Razer Barracuda X mic test. Now this is the microphone using the Razer Barracuda using Bluetooth via my iPhone. I'm recording this off my iPhone, no enhancements or anything like that. So when you're taking a phone call or a meeting call via Teams chat, Microsoft, whatever, Messenger services, FaceTime, this is what your voice would sound like using Bluetooth on the Razer Barracuda. And now you're hearing the microphone on the Razer Barracuda X. I am recording it via Bluetooth off of my iPhone. This was what it was. This was what the mic would sound like when you're, using the Barracuda X for a phone call via Bluetooth. This is what the Barracuda X would sound like. So what are my final thoughts and view on the Razer Barracuda X and the Barracuda headsets? At its current price of $70, I believe these Barracuda X's are some of the best bang for your dollar from a gaming headset / headphone standpoint. The sound quality is great for both music and gaming. The boom mic, as you heard in the mic test, sounded pretty darn good. It's not fantastically great, but you gotta remember, these are $70 right now. Originally $100. Even at $100 for everything it offers, the Bluetooth, the 2.4, the fast switching, these headsets gets a full recommendation from me. Of course, last but not least, the comfort. I have a big head. I have a bald head. No problem with these. I've worn these for 4 hours straight before when I wore these for work. No problem. Worked out great. I after a while I kind of forgot I had them on. Pick these up at $70 if you can before the deal is over. Full recommendation from me. Now moving on to the Barracuda, the black one are 100, the white and the pink one are going for 120. Is this a good price for this? And is it worth the extra money over the Barracuda X? Well, you're basically paying for the bigger driver, the 50mm as opposed to the 40. You're paying for a slightly better build. The headband is definitely a little better. And you're paying, I think Razer is charging you a slight more money for these integrated mics, even though they don't sound quite as good as the boom mic on the Barracuda X. But it is definitely more convenient if you want to use these truly as a everyday headphone / headsets type of device. The Bluetooth on there is great. The fast switching is great. Now, you can use these with Synapse, and I'm pretty sure there's a reason why it's slightly more because of the THX 7.1. You can use it with Synapse. To me, that's not really that big of a deal. I do find these to be better for gaming than the Barracuda X, but then again, that's just my opinion. I'm just a regular guy I'm just a regular guy that enjoys gaming. I play mostly story games. I don't know. Take what I say with a grain of salt. Comfort wise, these are great, just like the Barracuda X. I really don't feel any difference wearing them. I'll be honest, I really like the fact that there's no boom mic on these, that I can still use it. The mic is still usable. I don't need to worry about misplacing the mics. I don't need to worry about if I go on a walk, have a boom mic hanging out. If a phone call comes in, I just answer it. Here I am. I really, really like the design of the Barracuda. With that being said, at the current price of $100 for the black one, even $120 for the white one, if you like this color or the pink, snatch one of these up. I think it's worth the upgrade over the Barracuda X if the microphone is not a deal breaker for you. Okay? Because yes, these do sound better for games. These do have slightly better build quality. And for me personally, I think these are more convenient because of the integrated mics, because that's not that important to me. However, if you're asking me about $160, now we're talking a lot of different competition. Now we're talking about, you compare this to SteelSeries. You compare it to some of the headsets from Turtle Beach in the last year or so has come along around that price range. You're talking about some Corsairs now. We can go into that comparison. Some of the better Corsair headsets 160. This is a little bit of a tough sale for me, just because there's just other competitions out there that offers very similar to what this headset offers as far as its feature and function goes. Okay, sound is subjective. Certain companies are tuned their gaming headsets a certain way. Razer are usually more geared towards the lower end, and more bass focus on their headsets, creating that more immersion. For someone like me that enjoys story games a lot, these headsets are absolutely fantastic. Okay, but that's just my personal preference. At 160, can I recommend these? I would say wait for the next sale, because these have been out for over a year. There's probably going to be another sale coming, but at the time of this recording, this is $100 for the black one, $120 for the white and the pink. Let's snatch one up. Excellent deal. You cannot go wrong. But I'm going to go back to my conclusion on the Barracuda X. If the mic quality is important to you, get the Barracuda X. If convenience is over and a better sound is more important to you, I believe the Barracuda is a perfect headset for anyone. And that'll wrap it up, everyone. Thank you so much for watching. If you end up liking this video, please hit that like button for me. Subscribe to my channel to help my channel grow. Thank you, and I hope I'll see you in my next video.